Hi everyone, this is Marva Riley, and I'm so happy that you joined me today. I wanted to do a quick video, a chat really, with you about a conversation that I had with a young man today. There's a gentleman, we're painting our house, and I have a young man that's helping me to do a little painting, and we had a conversation today. And he informed me that his cousin passed away last night. The conversation continued, and he told me that the cousin is a young man in his late 30s, and he has end stage kidney disease, kidney failure, and was on dialysis. He continued to tell me that they were supposed to take him to dialysis today, but he got into trouble last night and passed away before the medics could get to their house. Where am I going with this? The young man told me that his cousin had a history of high blood pressure, and the high blood pressure destroyed his kidney function. And that's what led to the dialysis. High blood pressure or hypertension is not a benign health condition. I think too many of us have come to accept high blood pressure as a norm as we get older, but it is not normal. Okay, if it's not normal to be hypertensive as we get older, even though so many of us accept it as the norm. You can actually get older and even grow old with a normal blood pressure if we do the right thing to take care of ourselves. And that's what I want to kind of chat with you a little bit about today. Now, hypertension or high blood pressure is defined as a blood pressure above 130 systolic over 80 diastolic. And stage 2 hypertension is blood pressure, systolic blood pressure 140 or above, and the diastolic grade 90 or greater. If you have that kind of a high blood pressure for any length of time, that for sure will lead to serious health conditions. The CDC states that nearly half of all adults living in the United States have hypertension with a systolic greater than 130 and diastolic greater than 80. Or if the blood pressure is normal, they're on high blood pressure or hypertension medication. The CDC also states that in 2019, I was reading a little bit before I decided to do this talk with you. The CDC also stated in the article I read that in 2019, more than 500,000 deaths in the United States was due to hypertension as a primary or a contributing cause of that number of deaths. The CDC also continued to say that men have a higher percentage of hypertension than women. Hypertension also is more common among Blacks, Hispanics, and Asians as opposed to Caucasians. Persistent hypertension or high blood pressure can increase your risk of a number of potentially threatening health issues. And I've made a list of just a few of them, not everything. Heart attacks. When you have persistent, consistent high blood pressure, you're at a higher risk for a heart attack, for heart disease, like cardiomyopathy, where the high pressure of the heart that causes the heart to beat, causes the heart to have to beat or pump harder to pump the blood around the body, can lead to cardiomyopathy, which is a weakening of the heart muscle. Can also lead to strokes, heart failure, and kidney disease, as was the case with this young man, and subsequent death. Persistent hypertension can also lead to vascular dementia, of which dementia and Alzheimer's are vascular dementia illnesses, and it can also lead to aneurysms, among a slew of other very serious and life-threatening conditions. So as you can see by these things, hypertension is nothing to play with. Overweight, poor eating, not enough exercise, insufficient sleep, smoking, alcohol consumption, too much caffeine are a few of the things that can increase your risk of being diagnosed or developing hypertension. If you've been diagnosed with high blood pressure, it is not too late to do something about it. I was diagnosed with a serious, life-threatening heart condition several years ago, cardiomyopathy. My ejection fraction was 30 to 35%, whereas 65 or greater is considered normal by cardiologists. So the muscles of my heart were not pumping properly. My heart muscles were very, very weak, and the physicians told me that I needed to get a heart transplant to live. But I didn't believe them. Although I was very, very sick. I was depressed all the time. I had no energy, dizzy all the time and lightheaded. Just never felt good. And also I could feel my heart just pounding and palpitating very often. And when I checked my blood pressure, it was always low and my heart rate was always very high. I couldn't sleep at night. I had gastric reflux, irritable bowel syndrome, severe crippling arthritis, and maddening headaches all the time. I was very, very sick. And the doctors didn't think that I would make it. And I was in my late 30s with 2 children and a husband. I had a lot to live for. But there were times when I didn't feel that I would live. So I too had a life-threatening illness, the cardiomyopathy, heart disease, among other things. I started doing a lot of research, and everything pointed to healing through lifestyle changes. And so, because I was desperate, I decided to change some things about the way I was living my life. The first thing I had to change was my mentality. I had to decide that I wanted to live, and I wanted to feel good every day, and I wanted to lead a healthy lifestyle. And that's where the change began in the mind, the decision to do whatever it took to be healthy. And the next thing that I had to do, my friends, was to change the way that I eat. You see, I thought I knew how to eat healthy, but I didn't. So I started digging and reading and listening to anybody that I could listen to on YouTube. I started reading books written by the likes of Ketting Trudeau, and I started listening to Dr. Furman, the plant-based medical doctor, among other people. And everybody said It all begins with your nutrition, proper nutrition. So I changed the way I eat, and I gradually transitioned to a primarily plant-based diet, which means that most of what I eat are plants, fruit, vegetables, nuts, grains, roots, and minimal. And when I say minimal, I mean perhaps 1% of my meals might involve some fish, sardine, a little chicken once in a while, maybe a piece of beef every 6 months or something, never pork, and no processed meat. I also started doing some walking because, as Hippocrates says, walking is man's best medicine. And when the physician did a procedure on my heart, he told me, I want you to walk for half an hour every day. And he didn't have to tell me that twice. So I changed my lifestyle. And I'm 59 and a half years old now. And I feel amazing because I have discovered the secret to health is holistic, healthy lifestyle. And that's what led me to write my book. It's called Eat, Sleep, Meditate, A Nurse's Guide to Health, written by myself, Marva Riley, registered nurse. You see, what I wrote in this book, it's not secondhand information. It's based on my personal near-death experience. And I wanted to share with you how I was able to reverse and eradicate every single health issues that I had going on in my mind, because I was very, very depressed, anxious, couldn't sleep, and in my body, by adopting a healthy, holistic lifestyle. Drug-free. I take no drugs, no medication. I want to share my story with you because perhaps you or someone you know might have some health issues and need some help. And I wanted to share with you how I was able to reverse every health issues that I had going on in my body. And I know that you can also. I want to read an excerpt for you from my book, Eat, Sleep, Meditate, A Nurse's Guide to Health. You see how it looks all used up? That's because I read it a lot. It's a very short book. I believe it has 50 pages, short, easy to read, easy to understand, and easy to apply. And it's only $9.99 for the paperback and $4.99 for the ebook. It's on Amazon, on my website, rnmarvariley.com, walmart.com, and barnesandnoble.com. So go ahead and pick up your copy. Order today. Don't wait, because your health is your wealth, your only wealth, actually. So let me read an excerpt from my book, Eat, Sleep, Meditate, A Nurse's Guide to Health. This is on page 4 and part of page 5. Finally, after experiencing much difficulty breathing, climbing stairs, I went to see my doctor. She ordered an EKG because by now I was having serious palpitations, lightheadedness, dizziness, and was so weak I could hardly care for myself. The EKG showed ventricular tachycardia of up to 12 beats. That's irregular heartbeat. If you're not in the health field, you might not understand that, but it means my heart was beating really fast and erratic. She immediately called a cardiologist and instructed me to head over to see him at once. I jumped to page 5. 1 week later, He performed a cardiac ablation, which he stated would cure me of this condition, which he had diagnosed me with, cardiomyopathy. This procedure, he explained, is used to terminate the faulty electrical pathways from the area of my heart that was causing the irregular heartbeats or arrhythmias. Ventricular tachycardia is a heart condition that causes the ventricles or lower chambers of the heart to beat rapidly. If this condition is not treated quickly and effectively, it can lead to a more serious condition called ventricular fibrillation. See, people that you hear code blue in the hospital, or you see your neighbor, the ambulance in your neighbor's house because they code blue, usually it's because they've gone into ventricular fibrillation where the heart quivers as opposed to pump. This could lead to sudden death due to cardiac arrest. At my follow-up visit 2 weeks after, he told me to flush all my heart pills down the toilet, including aspirin. He instructed me to start walking every day, cut out coffee and green tea due to their caffeine content, eat healthy, and decrease my stress level. He did not have to tell me this more than once. I immediately started walking 30 minutes every day, and I have never turned back to my old unhealthy way of living. I hope this excerpt piques or whets your appetite to read more in this amazing book that I put together, I wrote just for you, because perhaps you or your neighbor or a loved one, a family member or friend or co-worker needs hope and needs a simple guide to help them to get on and stay on the healthy path and to take back their life. It's almost the end of the year. It's actually fall. It's a good time to reset and retake back your health. Take back your life, because you can. Don't wait until it's too late for you to do something about your health. Take your health back and begin to feel great, like I do again. This is Marva Riley. I'm a registered nurse, and I am the author of this book, Eat, Sleep, Meditate, A Nurse's Guide to Health. And I wrote this book just for you. It's available for purchase on my website, rnmarvariley.com, on barnesandnoble.com, amazon.com, and walmart.com. It's only $9.99 for the paperback. It's the price of a cup of coffee. And $4.99 for the ebook. But it's so well worth investing those pennies for your health. Go ahead and order your copy today. I also send out a free monthly health and wellness newsletter, and you can sign up for that. It's free, and I don't share your information, or I don't sell your information to anyone. You can sign up for the free health and wellness newsletter on my website also, rnmarvariley.com. Oh, and by the way, I am working on a healthy, plant-based recipe book. It's called Share, SHEIR. Simple, healthy, easy, inexpensive recipe shares. And that also will be available for purchase. I'm expecting to have the recipe book published by November, but stay tuned and I will share the link with you. Thank you for tuning in to my channel today. Remember now, your health is your responsibility, not the doctors, not the nurse, not the pharmaceutical company, not the hospital, not the clinic, not the nursing home. Your responsibility, and you have got to take care of your health. And I want to help you by showing you how to do so. Okay? So be sure to pick up a copy of my book. Till we meet again, take care and God bless you.